Hi guys, welcome back to a new crash course in Redux. In this Redux Toolkit crash course, I will show you how to fetch the data from the database using createAsyncThunk, and it is very simple to implement. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so this is the official website of the Redux Toolkit. As you can see, when I click on this Get Started button, you can see that we have tons of tutorial here that can be followed. And now let me just quickly show you what we had previously in the code. So this is the normal Redux in React. We have the actions. So here you can see we have two actions defined, and inside the user folder index.js and the pet counter, you can see we have this switch case defined, and in the index.js inside this reuser we have two reusers, so we combine together using the combine reuser, then we export it here. And next we have the we imported the reusers right here, and also the provider from React Redux as well. So then we create the store with the reuser here. So here you can see that this is the Redux tool. It is an extension so that we can see all of the state, the actions, what have been changed and stuff. And then we just use the store variable to wrap it around the component. Right here we have only one component, which is the app component. And once that's done, then here come the app.js. You can see we can start using the data right here. So when I go to the website, so this is what you can see. And now what we are going to do, basically, let me just try to change this title here, the text. So let me just change this to welcome to React Redux. This one will be the toolkit, and let's just remove this, all of this as well. Quickly save it, and right here we might want to get rid of this, for the action is not required. And let's just quickly save that again. Alright, so here this is what we have. And now let's just quickly install this library. So it's called Redux.js/toolkit, and you see it is very popular. So let me just click on this to copy it and go back to this. Let me terminate this, pressing on Ctrl+C and Y, and then paste the command here and press on the Enter key. It has now been installed, and here you can see. And also let me just close this for now and go back here. So right now what I'm going to do, we actually don't require the action and the users, so I can just remove this as well. The same for the reusers. Remove the whole folders. And here we can go to the index.js, and also let's just remove this line here with the reuser, and I can just comment this one for now. Alright, so this will be commenting this one out just for the time being. Alright, so now we have all of this file, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now, I will create a new folder. So this one, I'll call this as features. So inside these feature folders, I will create another folder. This will call users. And so what I'm going to do with this folder here, I will create the slide. So I will create a new file. Let's just call this as usersSlice.js, like that. So let me also close all of this. Alright, so here we have this new file inside this users folder called usersSlice.js. Alright, so what am I going to do with this file here? So basically I will at the endpoint. So the endpoint will return a list of users, and I will also show you that as well. But before that, let me try to import the createSlice and the createAsyncThunk from the toolkits. So import createSlice, createAsyncThunk from the Redux Toolkit. And down here, what I'm going to do, I will export const get users with the createAsyncThunk. So this accepts the string identifier and the payload creator callback. So now let me just try to create that. Normally we just use the usersSlice/get users. So if you have like post, you can just put like post and /get post. And this one here, this is the payload creator callback that perform the actual async logic. And now let me try to use the async. With this, we can just enter the dispatch and also get state. But for this tutorial, we may not be using this. I'll just put this to show you that we can do that. Okay, so here we can return away with the fetch function. And right here, we need to provide the endpoint. Let me just quickly show you that endpoint as well. Alright, so this is the JSON placeholder. When I scroll down here, we can see these are the endpoint that we can use. I'm going to use this user right here. So when I click on this, and it will return a list of 10 users. So let me just quickly copy this, go back here and paste it here. Alright. So with this, basically it will return the promise. So this will be the rest, and I will turn this into the JSON format, and it would look something like this. Alright, so now we can create the usersSlice using the createSlice. So this will be const, I give this a name as usersSlice with the createSlice that we imported up here. And then I can just give this a name. Let's just call this as user. And then this will be the initial state. Inside the initial state, let's just assign the users as empty array. And with the status, I set this to null by default. And this is the next one, which is the extra users. Now we can try to use the get user, which we define up here, right? Dot pending. So it has three. One is pending, the other one is fulfill, and last one will be rejected. So first one here, this is the pending. Let's just say when you try to make a request to the backend through the API, then the first things it will do, it will pending, because it while it's still making requests, we just wait for it. So this will have two, which is the state and action, and this will be the state dot status. We can set this equal to say like loading, and then second one will be get users fulfill. The same, this will have the state and the action. So this will be state dot status. Let's just call this a success. And we also have the other one as well, which is the action. So this will be state dot users equal to action dot payload, right? So whenever that it successfully fetched the data, then it will just set whatever that data, which is a list of 10 users here, to this state dot users. And last one, this will be the
Let's just do the get user dot rejected. The same thing, we will have the state, the action, and this will be the state dot status. Let's just set this to fail. So in case something happened, the URL doesn't exist or the database is down, then it will just show the status of fail. All right. So next step here, this will be the export default usersSlice dot reducer. Okay, so it would look like this. Now let me just quickly recap this again before we moving on. So here is the createAsyncThunk. It accepts the string identifier and also the payload creator callback that perform the actual async logic, and it return a promise. So return a promise, then what it do, it will handle the dispatching action of the relevant actions. But right here, we haven't used any of those yet. And also the action type that we handle in the reducer. So as you can see here, we have the pending, fulfill, we have the rejected. Next, let's create a store. So previously, you can see that we just define the store inside this index.js. But now I will create a new folder. Let's just call this one as app folder. So inside this app, I'll just create a new file called store.js. So we will define the store inside here. And the first thing that we need to do, just import the configure store from Redux Toolkit. And next, we will import the reducers. So this is from where? It is from the features slash user slash the usersSlice, which is here, the file that we just created. We just need to import it up here. And now we can start defining the store. So this will be configure stores like that, and the reducer. So this will be users and the users that we import up here. Very simple. And next, we just need to export the store, and we are ready to use the store. So right here, you can see that the syntax here is very simple. So when it comes to use like the mutating the state, normally with the typical Redux flow, it will just throw an error, or then we will need to use some sort of like the spread operator to spread it across, right? And with this, because we are using the Redux Toolkit, it just used the something called immer that we don't have to worry about like mutating the state anymore. So this is the benefit of using this toolkit. We don't need to write like the spread operator and to copy the existing one, right? So we just need to write this directly. Okay, so the next one that I'll just need to create, just go to the index.js. And actually this is not required, we can just get it off the store. And now let me try to import the store that we just created. So this will be import store from where? From the apps folder with the store right here. And then the create store here, we don't actually need to use that. So here we just uncomment this one out, and we are ready to use the store. So very simple, as you can see. Now let's just quickly go to the app.js. So inside the app.js here, what I'm going to do, I will just import the get users from the features folder with the users, and this is the usersSlice. So this is what we will need to import. And also I want to import the user effects as well. So whenever that the page load, then we will try to fetch the data through that endpoint. So right here I can just import React with the use effect from React. So for the CSS, actually I can just put it down here, and here inside the app component I can just start using the dispatch. So this is the use dispatch. So I can start using the users. This will be selector, and this will be the state dot users. Okay, so right here let me use the use effect, so that actually this is not needed. The same for this. The input, okay, would look like this, and I can start using the dispatch, which is right here, and just call that get users. It's very simple, as you can see here. So to know whether it's working or not, let me try to save this real quick and see the Redux extensions. So come back here, pressing on F12 on the keyboard. And now let's just quickly go to Redux. And here you can see that we have the first one is the users / get users / pending. All right. So first we set this to null, and whenever that it's a make request, it show this as loading. So once it successfully fixed the data, then it will turn from the status loading to success and come with the list of user, as you can see here. So that means that this is working, right? So with the actions, and this is the differences from the previous one, and this is the current one. So now we fix the user, and down here I'm going to just show the users list of users on this screen. So let's just say if the users is not empty, then I want to loop through this user. So this will be user with the index as well, and I want to show this in the h1 tag. So this will be user.name. I want to show a list of username, and we need to also provide the key as well, otherwise we will see the warning message in the browser. So just to give this key property here, quickly go back here, and here it is, guys. Now let me just refresh this again, and here it is. So we have the same thing right here with the list of 10 usernames. So you can see right here, say that user effect is missing a dependency. So we can just add the dispatch here as well. Let me just save that and compile successfully. Take a look again, refresh. Yep, we get this list of username. So what I'm going to do now, let me just go back to the usersSlice.js, the reducers. Let me just try to change something else here, right? When I click, when I save that, coming back here, refresh, and here you can see that because the URL, the endpoint doesn't exist, so the status from the right here, this is the pending, this is the correct one, right? But when because it doesn't exist, then it's go to the rejected, which basically turning from the loading to fail. That we also define the rejected inside this file as well. So when I scroll down, so it goes to this one right here. Okay, so that's basically how we use or how we implement the Redux Toolkit. As you can see, it's quite easier compared to the normal one, because we write less code. As you can see here, don't need to define the actions and each individual users, but here we can just define with less code, and the store, which is also quite simple, and index.js here we just need to wrap the store, and finally just show the data or the list of users onto the screen here. So let me just quickly change that back as well to the previous one, which is here. Take a look again. Yep, we get this up and running. So that's pretty much it for this crash course, guys. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Until then, see you guys in the next video.